Frequently, deafness is accompanied by additional handicapping conditions affecting the sensory, mental, or motor functioning of the child, and limiting further his total development and integration into the hearing world. The Deaf-Blind Unit at the Instituut Verdoven at Sint-Michiels-Gestel in the Netherlands has 20 children from 5 to 15 years of age. Here, 2 of the younger children move toward the pool for a relaxing swim. The classrooms and living quarters for the children are built around an open court and separated from the 4-story building which houses the apartments for the aides and the quarters for visiting parents. In the instructional area, one of the 2 teachers assigned to the class helps Olaf develop his concept of self, while the teacher aides assist Mika and Nelike perform tasks commensurate with their visual functioning. Perception of form to the visually impaired is an important aspect of learning about the world and is enhanced by drawing, by puzzles, by manipulation of objects. Language accompanies their varied activities. Conscious always of their need for knowing the verbal symbol system, the teachers and aides verbalize the task at hand.
Denk in de auto.
Although not official teachers, the aides use techniques to enrich every experience through multisensory input. All modalities are exploited for input of information and to establish or develop language competency. Luke is frequently addressed by name to strengthen his self-identity.
Papa.
The teletouch is used for both reception and expression of language. While Luke is having his individual lesson, his teacher can observe the activities in the adjacent room.
Ja, mooi zo. En dan een keer, Luc.
Reading and writing Braille are essential competencies in educating deaf-blind children.
Dan schrijf nog een keertje. Papa. 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 Ja, mooi zo. Doe maar een nieuwe regel.
Often so-called deaf-blind children have residual vision and hearing. Even with his limited vision, Luke perceives the printed word. Note how each word is presented orally and graphically. Synthesis provided to develop understanding of sentence structure.
Of het hobbelpaard. Hobbelpaard. Omdraaien.
Orientation in space is difficult when both distant senses are impaired. To orient oneself towards a sound source requires experience and practice.
Opletten.
To respond to varied rhythmic stimuli appropriately and to move away from security are important learnings leading towards physical independence. Note the variety of responses these children make to the auditorially tactily perceived musical stimulus. To educate deaf-blind children requires a large staff of both professionals and paraprofessionals. To move freely in space, the child must experience a variety of sensations of climbing over, through, under, on top of objects of varying sizes, textures, heights, and lengths. Note how Joyce is helped to develop confidence, the reinforcers the adults use.
Mooi joh. Kom maar en nou over de bank. Ja, gaan we lopen. Wat wil je doen? Kom maar Frans, ja, rechtop. Hoofd rechtop. Mooi. En kom hè. Ja? Ja, mooi. Je handen andersom, nee. Je handen andersom, zo. Ja, kom. Frans, loop door joh. Je handen en je benen. Ja,
The incidence of deaf-blind children has increased as a result of epidemics of maternal rubella. Drugs taken during pregnancy may damage the fetus. B is one of Germany's deaf-blind dysmelia children who were damaged in utero by thalidomide. Using a vibration trainer applied to the neck, B has been conditioned to respond to a number of words. She has been in training for 17 months. She can discriminate light and dark and has some residual hearing. Maintaining balance is a special problem to these children. Many repetitions of the stimulus word are needed to establish vibratory patterns. She responds to apple. Note her response to candy. Hospitalized generally from birth, these deaf-blind dysmelia children are the special concern of researchers attempting to devise educational programs for them. The Aspaksskolan Gnesta, about 60 miles outside Stockholm, is a special boarding school for mentally retarded deaf children. Opened only 2 years ago, it has 4 classes of children ranging in age from 7 to 16. Children are admitted from all sections of Sweden. Presently, there are 19 enrolled. The annual per capita cost is approximately $5,000 per pupil. In this new building, each room is fitted with a group auditory training unit. Each child has his own individual hearing aid, and classrooms are acousticized. Lessons are conducted orally. Finger spelling and signs are used for support. Within the capacity of each child, language instruction is sequenced so that practice is conducted in listening, lip reading, then finger spelling. Maternal rubella was the cause of the deafness in 3 of the pupils in this class. Most have profound deafness.
Kerstin. Bra, bra. Nu står här Jan. Bra, bra. Nu står här Janne. Janne. Jaha, Janne. Nu tar jag handen så. Så ja.
Men Mia.
Classes rotate between two teachers to provide opportunity for individual instruction.
Flicka, vad heter det? Flicka. Vem är det? Anna. Anna är liten. Men Mia. Ja, då förlåt. Bohistoria. Vem är det? Pappa. Kom igen. Pappa. Och Anna. Och ja, om igen.
Although no vocational preparation is offered, handwork is included in the curriculum. In the Netherlands, a new unit for mentally retarded deaf children has been opened at the Institute of Wordoven, where 20 children are grouped according to age and mental ability. In the oldest class, Brother Arno conducts lessons orally and manually. Emphasis is on vocabulary building. The classrooms and the living quarters are contained in the same building, which also has a large central indoor play area. The pupils have been in the school only a few months. Their IQs are reported to be between 50 and 70, and hearing losses vary from moderately severe to profound.
Ja, goed zo. Nou kijken. Let op. Ja. Mooi. Begin met A. Mooi. Ja.
EEG findings appeared inconclusive. Etiology is unknown, post-encephalitic, or due to RH incompatibility.
Jos? Kijk. Mooi. Hè? Ja? Wat staat daar? Kijk eens hier. Ja? Hallo? Mooi. Hè? Goed.
In Stockholm, the School for Cerebral Palsy Deaf Children, the Eugenia Hammett, is operated under the auspices of the Karolinska Sjukhusset. Plans are underway for a new school for the cerebral palsy deaf to be built outside Stockholm. This will be similar to the Asbachskolan. The auditory equipment is the same as is used at the Manila Skolan. Note the desk arrangement for protection from overflow movements. Pupils are grouped according to age. These 15-year-olds, like those of the Asbachskolan, are taken on trips by the school each year.
Kerstin kommer. Hon kommer tillbaka I januari, efter jullovet, kommer tanken.
They are motivated to learn about the countries they will visit.
Tycker du att det ska bli roligt?
Bengt demonstrates his skill at the typewriter as he discriminates amongst the various kinds of clocks. In England, a new special school for emotionally disturbed deaf children is located at Stoke Poges. Larchmoor is a residential facility and enrolls 20 children from England who are not able to cope in other schools and programs for the hearing impaired. It opened under the sponsorship of Princess Margaret and the Royal National Institute for the Deaf and has a distinguished staff of consultants. The impetus for its establishment was the result of concerns of the teachers of the deaf who reported many children who failed to make progress in the regular programs for deaf and partially hearing pupils. Sending out a questionnaire resulted in a caseload of approximately 200 pupils in need of additional assistance educationally and socially. Pupils are admitted following medical, psychological, and psychiatric examination and the recommendation of the referring school. Examinations are conducted at Larchmoor. Pupils are accepted on trial with frequent reevaluations.
1.5. That's it.
Focuses number 7.
Additional examinations by neurologists, otologists, and audiologists occur during this period. The philosophy of the school includes an attitude of permissiveness. Each classroom is equipped with an experimental auditory training unit, a quiet corner for work away from the group.
What is it, Graham? On this one? Don't worry about 1 and 2. You know all these words? You know what this word is?
Pedestrian.
Well, not quite. Pedestrian.
Pedestrian.
Good. Do you know what it means?
A lady walking across the road.
Is anybody walking? If you're in a car, you're sort of driving, the driver of a car, if you're walking, but a pedestrian, anybody, it doesn't have to be on a crossing. All these are pedestrians, because they're walking. That's what it is. Okay, that's fine.
Regular classroom work is conducted, but children may leave a class when they need to be alone. Gerald has reached his frustration level, and his departure is permitted. He moves into the central play area, but finds a quieter climate as he watches his animal friends. At Larchmoor, the Paget system of manual communication is used. Tina is extremely sensitive to tactile stimuli and permits no one to touch her.
A dog. What's this? Sun. Right, sun. Cat. A cat. Sun.
Aggressiveness and hostility often are acted out in puppet shows. Here, the younger group enact a puppet show without much supervision, while individual instruction goes on in another section of the room. special feature of the school is the interest stimulated in animals. Here there are a goat, a horse, and a donkey, and smaller farm animals. The boys care for them, grooming and feeding them, as well as enjoying rides and playing with them. Deafness is a serious handicap. Progress is being made in recognizing the needs of hearing-impaired children whose learning problems are made more complicated by additional handicaps. For them to integrate into the hearing world, special instructional programs based on research findings are needed.